Food allergies affect 15 million people in this country. Reactions can range from mild to severe to potentially life-threatening. In the U.S., food allergy symptoms send someone to the emergency room every 3 minutes. A food allergy results when the immune system mistakenly targets a food protein or an allergen as a threat and attacks it. When this happens, your immune system produces abnormally large amounts of an antibody called immunoglobulin. These antibodies fight the enemy food allergens by releasing histamine and other chemicals, which trigger the symptoms of an allergic reaction. Ed Neuzil, board-certified nurse practitioner at the Allergy, Sinus, and Asthma Family Health Center, explains how they can identify and manage your food allergy symptoms.
The allergic reaction triggers your immune system, which activates an inflammatory process. Chronic inflammation in the body can affect other body organs. And so individuals that do have allergies to foods and are able to avoid that exposure remark many times how much better they feel overall. And so that chronic inflammatory process can cause a chronic fatigue, don't feel well. I mean, even without all the really bad symptoms, you just don't feel good. Not all symptoms occur immediately after the exposure, and that will kind of have a tendency to throw people off because they think, well, if I'm allergic to it, I should react right away. So even such things as people getting abdominal cramping, unusual bowel symptoms can be related to foods, and this can happen 4, 6, 8 hours after you've eaten, so it doesn't have to be immediate. We have food allergy testing, which can find and determine whether you have an allergy to different foods, and we usually test for the more common type foods. But what I also tell people, you may have sensitivities that are not what we call IgE mediated. So it's not an allergy, it's a hypersensitivity or an inability to process. If I test somebody and they're allergic to watermelon, they says, what's in watermelon I can be allergic to? And it's not the watermelon you're allergic to, it's the protein that's watermelon. The people that think that milk is an allergy can be, but doesn't necessarily have to be. You can have an intolerance to where you lack a certain enzyme to break down those parts in the milk. So when we look at food allergies, I mean, they can be mild, but they can be severe, and it doesn't take much. What I typically tell people, I say, well, if somebody gave you a cup of battery acid, would you drink it? And of course everybody says no. And I says, well, would you just take a sip? And I let them know that it's not always a lot of exposure. It can be a very minimal exposure to cause severe reactions.
To get in touch with Ed Neuzil and the staff at the Allergy, Sinus, and Asthma Family Health Center, please visit our specialist directory. Just click the Bad Reactions tab on our homepage at yourhometownhealth.com.